Got a full tank of gas, and I picked the day with little wind, and I'm going to do some roll-on acceleration test. The only performance, quote-unquote performance modification that this bike has right now is a full exhaust. It's a Two Brothers Racing exhaust. The reason I say quote-unquote performance is that this bike does not have an ECU reflash, and it has not been tuned for this exhaust that the previous owner put on the bike. So I'm going to do some roll-on tests in different gears, different conditions before I tune the bike. I'm going to get a Two Wheeled Dyno Works ECU reflash done for this bike. And I also ordered a couple of parts from TST Industries. So I'm going to install their velocity stacks in the airbox, and also a block-off plate that you can install on the bike and remove the evap canister and the air injection system, which also helps the bike run smoother and at higher power. So before I do all those mods, the power mods, I want to get a baseline, know where I'm at, to see if the upgrades really make a difference without having to do a full dyno test. So with that being said, I'm going to get out here on the road. We're out here in a very empty industrial area, no traffic, and just do various roll-on tests. About to take off, and I saw this golden coin on the ground. Maybe it's a good luck coin. No cash value. It looks like an arcade coin. Anyway, the first test I'm going to do is going to be a roll-on test in first gear. Thought there was no traffic out here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the bike idle in first gear. So it idles at about 5 miles an hour. Then I'm going to go to red line, full throttle. Okay. Now I'm going to repeat the same test in second gear, starting from the same spot. So same thing, I'm going to let the bike idle and then hit full throttle. In second gear, it idles at 7 miles an hour. I'm going to hit full throttle. Here we go. Okay, I think I can do the same thing in third gear. The bike bogs a little when you go to full throttle, and I'm not sure if that's because it's not tuned well, or if a stock bike would do the same thing. I'm not sure. Same thing in third gear, idle to full throttle, and then I'll do some roll-ons in fourth, fifth, and sixth. I think will be too tall to go all the way to red line at a reasonable speed. Third idles somewhere between 9 and 10 miles an hour. It looks like 9 miles an hour. Okay, let's go to full throttle. The bike does not like that. Okay. 71 is red line in third gear. So for fourth, fifth, and sixth, I think what I'm going to do is fourth gear, do like a 40 to 80, hold it at 40 miles an hour in fourth gear till I pass my starting point here, and then take it up to 80. Here we go. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing in fifth, roll-on test from 40 up to 80. Full throttle. Even sixth gear, I'm going to be able to hit 80 before that curve. Okay, now let's do 40 to 80 in sixth gear. Go. Much lower response in sixth gear as expected. Yeah, we're going to get to 80 before the curve. That's good. One last test I'm going to do is I'm going to do a rolling 5 mile an hour to 60 mile an hour. I'm not going to do a 0 to 60 launch because there's too many variables in clutch action and revs and having a good launch. I think it's more consistent and easier to be able to compare a 5 to 60 mile an hour run than a 0 to 60. I'm going to do 5 to 60. I think that requires 2 shifts, into second and then into third. I'll do it in both directions. That way if there's any elevation change, that'll take care of that. Man, there's a lot more industrial traffic out here on the weekend than I thought. Out here in Mexico, middle of nowhere. Okay, so we're going to idle in first gear and then do a 5 to 60. So I think it idles right at 5. Here we go. Okay, now let's do it in the other direction. And when I get my performance upgrades, install the velocity stacks, install the air injection system block-off plates, and get the ECU reflash, I'll come out here and do these exact same runs to get an apples to apples comparison. Idle here in first gear, in the other direction. Here we go. That concludes my timed runs with the current state of tune and parts on the bike. Just gonna pull off here and confirm my video is okay, and then I'll go home and crunch some numbers. If you find this type of content useful, please consider subscribing and hit that like button to be notified of future content.